A state of play is incoming. Probably not a showcase, but let's still look at what we can expect. So we go over here to Twitter, to Jeff Grubb, PlayStation event in June. That's the entirety of what I can confirm. No specific dates, not sure if it's a state of play or a big boys showcase, but I lean towards a state of play. And then you might be like, okay, Jeff Grubb, why would I believe this? Well, if we go, for example, here, 1 year ago, Jeff Grubb, or like this new state of play confirmed for tomorrow, the previous rumor was, Jeff Grubb says, Sony is committed to a showcase by the end of May. So basically, that is when he was right. And also here, 9 months ago, a PlayStation State of Play, another showcase is coming by the end of September. And then, well, indeed, we got a State of Play September 25th last year. So, I'm gonna believe this. Of course, that's where Yotei was revealed. Like, that is what all the State of Plays have been doing. They have been, like, they have a lot of third-party stuff, but always at the end seem to drop some sort of first-party announcement or new trailer. So, I think we can at least expect that. Let's go over what we can expect. I also, at the end, want to kind of look at what we saw previously. Maybe those will show up again. But first, let's look at more leaks and rumors for things that could show up at the State of Play. Because Yotei says Starfield is coming to PS5 and should be announced this year. Is that a surprise? No. I mean, we just got the Hellblade 2 announcement. Indiana Jones already made its way over. Of course, Doom, Gears of War. So this is like a question of when, not if. And I think it would be a baller move for them to just put this in the State of Play. Because Xbox would be down for that. To be fair though, I don't think an Xbox game has shown up in a State of Play. But correct me if I'm wrong. I think Forza was only in like through social posts and stuff. So maybe during the Xbox showcase, Microsoft will announce the second DLC for Starfield and then also say, yo, it's coming to PS5. I can see that too, but maybe it's during the State of Play as well. We know that 2K is preparing an announcement for the BioShock franchise, and it seems like Rapture will play a significant role in the upcoming announcement. Like, I saw people make a great point recently. We love BioShock, but again, it's 2007 when that game came out. Now, sure, they did remasters and stuff, but I do think there's a huge, like a lot of PS5 owners right now have never played BioShock. So, I do think making a remake first, get people invested, and then come out with the new game is probably a smart way to go about it. But yeah, we will see. 2K is not very known for their remakes. Of course, they did the Mafia thing, so maybe it will be like that. I hope this is true, but I would prefer to see the new game. But I do get that they want to at least like put the game in people's minds again, the franchise. They, of course, have a movie coming with Netflix as well. So, yeah, people will then be like, okay, where is this coming from? Let's play the remake. So, I can see that happen. And I do think that's like kind of a Sony announcement for sure. What we should not expect, this is a recent leak from Colin Moriarty on his podcast, Sacred Symbols. Sony has no marketing plans for Marathon next quarter. Of course, as you probably know, there is a lot wrong with the Bungie extraction shooter. Art was stolen and used in the game, like just ripped off. So they now have to go through all the assets to see, okay, what the heck? They cannot show any trailer, because if that trailer shows that art again, or anything else that was stolen, that's like a really, really bad look. So I think we will not see Marathon for a long time. It will probably get delayed from the September thing as well. And of course, a June State of Play also makes a lot of sense, because, yeah, they need to promote Death Stranding 2 one more time. Now, Kojima is of course friends with Jeff Keighley, so it could totally be that during Summer Game Fest he shows up with a trailer. But I can also see Sony, of course, during their own State of Play be like, yo, this is a very big game. Look, it looks amazing. Way more action this time. June. It's coming very, very soon. They actually do early access with this game, by the way. So if you like get a digital Lux edition, you get like early access, which is new for Sony games. So I'm curious if they will do more with that. Although we know Ghost of Yotei does not have that. So I think that's pretty interesting. And yeah, I already said it. Ghost of Yotei, of course. That's what I'm looking forward to. And overall state of plays really mostly have games that are like coming in the next few months. So Ghost of Yotei is totally going to show up, of course. I totally think they will do like a dedicated state of play because that was a huge success for the first game. But I do think having a more, this is like what it feels to play like a 10-minute demo or maybe 6 minutes because it's in a state of play would be very, very cool. That might be the ending, actually. I can see that do that. Although that would, of course, not be as exciting as a new announcement. But yeah, Ghost of Yotei will, of course, totally show up. And this June state of play, usually they do a state of play in September as well. So I don't think this is the final time they can really, really showcase the game in a state of play. But yeah, we want to see some actual gameplay. And I can't freaking wait. I think the game will be way bigger than we anticipate. That's kind of that there will be way more like tiny things. They already have a sort of mini game, kind of like Gwent in the game. They have like bounties. I really think in terms of side content, this game is gonna blow the first one out of the water, and I can't wait. Of course, we also had the announcement for the brand new Housemarque game. It's basically Returnal spiritual successor. You die over and over and then try to advance in a level. And actually, what they said at the end of the previous state of play is this.
All of us at Housemarque can't wait to share more about Saros, with our first look at gameplay coming later this year.
First look at gameplay coming later this year. I mean, that could be that during the state of play. I think it depends on, we know this game is like 2026. I think it depends on if it's early 2026 or if we get it like later in 2026. Of course, Returnal was more a spring-summer game. So, yeah, I think early 2026 would be kind of cool. And, yeah, these guys at the Housemarque are, like, fast. So, if they, like, use a lot of the Returnal mechanics, I can see them pull it off. But, yeah, maybe not during this state of play if they do another one in September. But we could totally see this show up. Then, there is, like, I hope there are some surprises as well. And maybe this is not a surprise, but Until Dawn, the PS5 remake that launched last October, had a new ending and it hinted at a possible sequel. I watched it. I'm not gonna like show you it here, but we of course also had rumors already of Firesprite. That's the studio that did the Call of the Mountain VR game for Horizon. They also were working on a horror game. We had leaks that it's probably going to be Until Dawn 2. So, they of course just did the movie. I heard some like mixed things about it. Some people that I talked to really liked it. And on the internet I heard like, oh, it's not that great. It's kind of came and went as well. So I don't think it's the splash that Sony wanted. But yeah, they have been working on a sequel seemingly for Until Dawn. And I think that's great. There are quite some games like this, but not at the quality and at the production value that Until Dawn had. So let's hope that we get the sequel. I think that would be pretty cool, and we might see it. They've been working on it for a couple of years already. So, but of course the big one is we are continuing to create epic solo adventures for Aloy, but there is more. A new internal team is developing a separate online game project set in Horizon's universe, featuring a new cast of characters and a unique stylized look. Friends will be able to explore the majestic wilds of Horizon together. So this was December 2022, but we know that this game has been in development for a long time. Wait, my face is blocking it. Bleep. So it's going to happen. If we look at the recent job openings, they always have job openings at Guerrilla. Like here, they're looking for a director of product management. You'll be a key member of the core leadership team responsible for the development, launch, and live phase of a new online experience targeting a broad audience set in the Horizon universe. Like, people always, when they talk about the marathon and the fair games, we're going to touch on fair games in a second, they're like, oh, the Sony, what do they have in live service, like, in terms of live service games? This is their biggest bet. Horizon Online is their biggest bet. This is Guerrilla Games delaying, basically, their single-player offering. Because Forbidden West came out in 2022. So 3 years ago. If they did not do this online game, I think Horizon 3 would have launched near the end of the PS5 life cycle. So like 2028 maybe, or 2027. Now they will likely launch it way later because a lot of single-player developers are working on this co-op game. So it's not going to be... It's already going to be the investment that they put into this game that's like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's also that, yeah, it delayed the thing that they know will make them money. So, but it's a gamble. They're doing their best. They're trying at least. We will see. But I would love to see that game finally, because then we can stop looking at the job openings and not have like an idea of what it looks like. We of course had the leaked image, but that was very old, so I don't want to like I don't want to like talk too much about that. But we will see, hopefully in the June state of play. Insomniac is actively working on Marvel's Wolverine for PS5, but they won't share news just because you ask. Things take time, resource, and the green light to share them. I still think it's wild that they announced this in 2021. I mean, they wanted to get like people to hire people to work on it, but we of course had the big leak. A lot of gameplay is out there. I really think that it would be good for them to post a new trailer, get the hype back on the road. But we learned that the creative director has left the project, so they switched directors, and that's never a good sign. So it might be that they need more time for this. I mean, Insomniac already had an insane run this generation. Okay, Miles Morales also came out to PS4, but it was a PS5 launch game, of course. Ratchet & Clank and Spider-Man 2. So if they... Like, that's already more than some studios will not... Sony Studios will not release a new game during the PS5 generation, because they worked on live service stuff that got cancelled. So Insomniac is already, like, top tier, but... Yeah, they kind of lost their groove after Spider-Man 2. I do think Wolverine was planned for maybe Perfect World this year. I mean, Sony could use it, but otherwise next year. So I still hope this game is next year. Because we also know that Intergalactic and The Witcher 4, but let's focus on the Sony exclusive. It will not release before 2027 is what Jason Schreier said, and he scores mostly right. So, what is the 2026 single-player Sony game then? That's gonna be the question. I think they wanna have that be Wolverine and then Intergalactic in 2027. But we will see. So yeah, don't expect Intergalactic at the state of play. Of course, we learned recently that Naughty Dog has a second game. It's not a smaller project. So, Uncharted, Lost Legacy style game, I would be down for that. Of course, check out the video that I did recently. We'll leave a link in the video description as well. But yeah. That would be cool. Like, I want to have some surprise, but I think with a state of play, though, we should be kind of not expecting it. I think they will announce one first-party game. Like, if I really have to guess, if it's just a state of play, I think we will get Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding 2, and then I think they will announce Horizon Online or something like that at the end. So either Horizon Online, Until Dawn 2, or the God of War Grease game that we, of course... know is coming as well. If it's like coming this year, that would be like a oh my god Miles Morales type moment where it's like, what, a new Spider-Man game already and it's coming out this year? I want to believe. Again, Jeff Grubb, amazing track record. I think it makes sense for them to do a smaller God of War game. And yeah, set in Greece, let people learn more about Kratos before 2018 that they reference back to in Ragnarok and of course in 2018. I think makes a lot of sense. Come on. That would be great. But yeah, I want to quickly look at what other Sony teams are doing. Team Asobi, of course, just launched Astrobot, again, Fire Sprite, Until Dawn 2, Guerrilla Horizon Online, Saros, Housemarque, Media Molecule, of course, they worked on Dreams Forever, Little Big Planet. They're now doing a new IP. I think they need more time. Dreams, of course, recently got cancelled. Ben Studio just put out Days Gone Remastered, and their live service game just got cancelled. So I'm not expecting them anytime soon. Bluepoint, of course, did the Demon's Souls remake at the launch of the PS5. But after that, their live service game got cancelled. So yeah, they're starting from scratch as well. Then we get The Haven. That's, of course, the team that did Fair Games. Well, also from Colin Moriarty. The recent leak is, it apparently doesn't feel good to play and is super clunky in the current state. So yeah, there was like a play test. We learned about that from Bloomberg as well. So, like, this has Concord written all over it. I think it's gonna be hard to see that even come to market, or they're really going to put more money into it, but we will see. Again, Insomniac, They did have the Venom game at one point, so maybe, okay, what's going on with that? Is that even a thing still? Otherwise, we will wait a long time for all the loose ends that Spider-Man 2 had. Naughty Dog, we touched on that. San Diego is the baseball game. Santa Monica would be then God of War. Although Cory Barlog is, of course, working on a sci-fi game too. But I think they will save that for a bit later. This is Ghost of Yotei. So that would be it. But, like, again, I think we will see 1 or, like, up to 3 first-party games. And the rest will be Metal Gear Solid. Like, Monster Hunter was last time. So a lot of third-party titles. Lost Soul aside, I do think they will push that again. It got pushed to August, so I think they want to promote that again with a trailer. So yeah, Borderlands 4 obviously has a huge deal with PlayStation, so I'm expecting that too. So that's kind of where I'm at. I want to hear what you think we will see. Fingers crossed for Horizon Online. That would make me happy. But yeah, subscribe for more, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye.